From 1910 to 1945, over 200,000 women were forced into sex slavery. This happened mainly during World War II, and out of the 46 women that are surviving today, they are asking for support funds from the Japanese government, and only 12 of them are asking for $90,000 as well as an apology from the Japanese government. In a news article from News 24 in August of 2016 called Ex-Wartime Sex Slaves Sue South Korea Over Deal with Japan, it states tens of thousands of women from around Asia, many of them Korean, were sent to frontline military brothels to provide sex to Japanese soldiers. These women were only from the age of starting from age 12 starting from the age 12. And these women were called comfort women, and that was because they provided the comfort to the men in the military. In an article from CNN in April of 2015, it's called "A Lifetime Later, a Korean's Comfort Women Still Seek Redress." It states, it explains how one of the women that were in the military, or that were sent to the military brothels, she was only 12 years old, her name was Kim, and she explained that the men would line up at noon and it would last until 8 p.m. and on Sundays they would line up at 8 a.m. and it would last until 5. A lot of these women explained how it was very dehumanizing, and a lot of them had to take medicine following the incident, and because it was so traumatizing, they were not wanting to have kids, which led them to not end up getting married. From an online article in August of 2016, the article called "Former South Korean Sex Slaves Sue Government Over Payout," it states that the law was submitted days after South Korea's foreign ministry said the surviving victims will each be eligible to receive around $90,000 from a foundation funded by the Japanese government. So like I said, only the 12 of the 46 surviving today are seeking the $90,000. And those that are deceased, the families will receive $18,000 for each of the women that were in the sex slavery. From another article in 2016 of September called "World War II South Korean Sex Slaves Sue the Government to Make Japan Apologize," it states the surviving women have deemed the agreement as being unsatisfying and have repeatedly stated that they were not protesting for money. The 46 women were just protesting for the support funds as well as an apology from the Japanese government, and they were also asking for a correction in the history of the Japan textbooks. In Live News article in August of 2016 called "Former South Korean Sex Slaves Sue Government Over Payout," it states that many in South Korea believe the Seoul government settled for less than Japan still has not acknowledged legal responsibility for the atrocities during its colonial occupation of the Korean Peninsula from 1910 to 1945. So like I said, these women were very young. They started from the age of 12, and a lot of them were dehumanized and were traumatized from the incident, and were not able to start a family or have kids, get married or anything like that. So it definitely affected their lives, and these men were only with them for maybe 3 minutes at a time from the 12 o'clock to the 8 o'clock time, because they wanted to keep the line going. They were all lined up for the women, which sounds insane. So I hope I informed you guys about the South Korean sex slavery from 1910 to 1945. Thank you.